I say by a miracle, the national currency, the Naira, rebounded by some 20.8% approximately to 720 Naira to a dollar. You know, the announcement of the redesign by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, had piled a near choking pressure on the Naira at the black market. It had dipped to an all-time low of 910 Naira to a dollar. Clamped down on foreign exchange dealers in Abuja, Lagos, and some other big cities in the week by officials of the EFCC did not help matters. Traders bore the brunt of the whole fiasco. Now, the Naira, Tony, must have more than 9 lives.
Just,
You're still wondering?
I'm not I'm just, because it's not new though. And we know what triggered this. We know what triggered this. And I salute, I don't know, for me personally, I think I salute whoever initiated this move, you know, redesigning of the Naira.
Yeah.
Because how can, out of 3-point-something trillion Naira
In circulation.
be within the public?
Yeah.
Out of 3 million, out of 3.2 million trillion Naira, 2.773 are unbanked. In other words, they are not in the banks, they are with individuals. So CBN studied this and decided to do this. And then within the first week when immediately this was announced, there was this surge in banks. So,
Tony, some people are downright satanic.
So now they are regretting, especially the speculators. So when it happened, people took their money. Of course, we know when I had a lot of people say, but you know Nigerians, there's always a loophole.
Yeah.
And I know, definitely, when they bring out this money, they will definitely want to change it to FOREX, so as to make it easy for them. Because when you do that, you can keep it for as long as you want.
And so waiting for the right time.
And they're waiting for the right, of course, and they're waiting for the right time to come out again and do. So I like, because yesterday actually we went out for, to sample some, because I have some of this thing to exchange. And one of their bookies were saying that yes, it was down. Also because of that, we couldn't actually do the transaction. So I was asking, like, what actually caused it? I was saying that CBN injected, foreign exchange into the market, and that brought, resulted in that crash. So now speculators who have kept, and I read a lot, and some of them they've actually bought this and kept it, hoping that it will,
appreciate.
So that's part of what we're saying here. So we are part of the problem. Nigerians, at times we blame government too, but in our own individual, roles, we contribute to these things.
Yeah.
We decide what happens to the economy. We decide what happens to our forex. When the CBN governor last year, I think the issue of banning bookie FX and all that, it didn't change anything. So when you ban a bookie, so what happened to individual bookies in our, within us, who keeping this thing and speculating? Because the more you do this, the more it affects the economy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's the common man that suffers it. Because when you go to the marketplace to buy something, you come back crying. Because the Naira will no longer have value. So it has come, this is Nigeria, and I please, I stand to be corrected. I don't know why we have we have black market and official rates. Please, I don't know, is this how it is across the world?
If you ask me now, who I go ask? But Jide, you remember 1984 when this same thing happened and 53 suitcases came. And the rest, as they say, is history. So we are back there.
But we've not been able to lay our hands on some suitcases this time.
Have we punished bad behavior in this country before?
We punish, but we usually don't punish the rich.
Oh, okay.
It's not as if we don't punish bad behavior. You look at EFCC, and overwhelming majority of their convictions are
those guys down there.
Yahoo boys and the rest of them.
So
But the politically exposed persons,
Are
it is
shielded.
extremely difficult to...
no, is it difficult? Are they bigger than
It is difficult to
nail them?
convict them. They get the best lawyers. They can bribe judges, who will frustrate
A trial.
their trial. There was a time that the EFCC was identified some judges that was taking cases before.
Okay, yeah.
It was because it wasn't sure that it will get justice in the hands of some judges. Is that bad? How can you have an agency that would always take its cases before some particular judges? It says a lot about the lack of confidence in the judiciary. Yes, we punish bad behavior, but it's like there is a different rule for the poor and another one for
do
the
you
rich.
know? Well, I'm tempted to think along with you, but then the question comes: is it difficult to punish these big people?
It's difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
I
want me
agree.
to tell you the truth, it's
I-
difficult. Even
I
Obasanjo
rest
just
my
said
case.
it that it's difficult to fight corruption because you discover that you keep stepping on the toes of your own friends.
Okay.
And people find it difficult to do that. Talking about the currency thing, since that's
Yeah.
the issue that brought us here, people are refusing to step forward to buy. I've heard that, it's because the FCC raided. No, it's not. It's not simply because the FCC raided. This is not the first time FCC will raid
Yeah.
Bureau de Change of
Yeah.
hubs. But people don't want to step forward and buy
For fear.
for fear that it will further crash. This whole thing,
Okay.
this whole thing, the value of our currency is not based on
These are
any
fictional.
empirical parameters, no real metrics. It's not a function of
Regulated.
production.
Yeah.
It's just based largely on speculation.
Because they're special, that's all.
Ours is a rentier economy. It's just based largely on speculation. Oh, what will happen? Just for me, we are approaching December. So those guys are calculating. We are approaching December. In December, people will come home from Europe and America and other places. They will bring more dollars. Usually at that time, demand goes
Down. Yeah.
because there is plenty,
Demand for
plenty
it.
supply. As a result of people coming in, bringing foreign currency. So now, this one happening now
Is that
has
official?
alerted them to the possibility of the thing further going down, knowing that we are approaching December when there will be greater supply. So what they are doing now, instead of going to buy, because a lot of them who need it, they also want to keep it.
Yeah.
Because it's a better store of value than our currency and it's much more consistent. So instead of going to buy it and then keep it for future use, they would rather wait because they are scared that as it is going, it will further go down. And if it goes down, they've lost money. So they don't want to take that risk. Then for some of them who also want to pay school fees and other things with it, they are encouraged by the fact that this thing is going down. And they are inclined to wait a little bit to see if it will further go down.
Yeah, okay.
So that at that time they can then move in, go
And
get
do-
it for what.
it.
So it's people are reluctant. They are reluctant to go buy. So the demand, once is a function of demand and supply. Once the demand is not impressive,
Yeah.
you don't expect it to be going
Obviously.
well. If
Obviously.
we were to have election tomorrow now, or maybe a presidential primary or when, then
It will shoot up.
of course, because there will be greater demand for it.
Yeah.
So we are the architects of our own misfortune. For those agonizing on social media and other places that we are talking about, Naira not being strong enough and all that. It is because we want our government to take the right steps. We are not born psychophants. We want our government to take the right steps. How come in South Africa you don't see people hawking dollar on the streets?
Yeah.
How come in Mozambique you don't see people hawking dollars on the streets? So if we must ban the black market and know that, okay, we are going to be using the official window, let's have it. Why should we have why should we even have a dual exchange rate? There was a time that it was even more than 2.
Yeah,
Whereby for those going on pilgrimage, there's a separate exchange rate. Those going on, no, I mean, we can't continue like that.
We have an Ade joining us. Excuse me. Ade, good evening. How are you?
I greet all my brothers here, including the prince. The dollar will still go up. You know why? The January deadline is too short. The CBN should extend it to 6 months or 9 months to change the old note to the new note. I used to live in Kano in those days. There's a market they call Singer and Canteen Kori. Those people alone, the kind they have, is enough to set up 3 banks. So the CBN should please extend it to 6 to 9 months so that people can have time to exchange the old note to the new note. Otherwise, the dollar will still go up. Because
All
January
right.
ending is too short.
I hope you are not planning on returning some pounds here.
No, you see, it's right. I don't think the period that we've given for this whole exchange to take place, banks are still going to use the same tellers that they are not using at this time. So it's going to put so much pressure on the banks.
Yeah.
It's going to put so much pressure. A lot of people have kept money at home. Especially
as we speak.
Yes, in the north, some people don't think that they should take money to the bank. It's a cultural thing for some of those big traders in those places. Canteen Kori, biggest textile market in West Africa. A lot of them don't use the banks. So now, if they must exchange this, that means they have to go to the bank.
They have no choice.
Some banks, like he was saying, he said the money that is lodged in some of those markets that is bigger than three banks. So how do we do this within so short a time? When we told our government that the time provided for this NIN registration to take place was too short, they were arguing with us. And some of the agents said, everything, you always argue about everything. But do you know how many times they extended it? They had to extend it several times. So even this one, I hope that the window, although I know that they are also careful because this is close to the election time.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that time is enough. And if people find themselves unable to quickly get this money changed in the banks,
but you know,
they will go to the
Nigerians
and buy dollars.
Nigerians have this crazy character of not doing things in time until.
But if this one concerns everybody. If you have a little money, you have to change it now, because after the deadline, it's useless.